Hi everyone, it's Jess with Kinder Stampo, and today we're going to be making a really fun card. I'm going to be featuring the McGill dimensional ice cream cone punch, and I know you guys have seen me use this in the past to make some really sweet ice cream cone happy birthday cards. However, today I want to show you the versatility of this punch and to share with you how you can convert these shapes into multiple creations. I know we're looking at it and we see it just as a very concrete ice cream cone, but you can make tons and tons of other designs with this. And the particular card that we're going to be working on today, we're going to turn into a bunch of bowls of cherries. So let me put this over to the side and show you how we got started. So the first thing I did was I took a piece of craft paper and I punched out a number of the punches. So basically you're going to get all of these cuts at once, right? And don't throw any of the extra pieces away because you can use those to make other cards, and I'll be showing you that really soon. So for this particular case, I'm just going to use one of the ice cream cone toppers, and it's going to be this one right here, right? So this little scoop on the top is the one that I'm going to be featuring in this card. So we have one little scoop, two little scoops, three little scoops. The base of our card is going to be a simple A2 card layout. So all I did was I went ahead and I ran it through an embossing folder just to give it some texture and make sure that my scoops are going to actually pop out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Jelly Roll pen and I'm just going to do some simple stitching along the border just to give it a little bit more detail because I want it to really pop out on the background. So we'll do this to all three of them. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, it's a handmade card, so the extra little touches look really great. So I'm just going to do a little straight line across as well, like that. And we'll do the same thing to the other one. And again, we're just going to be doing this to three of the smaller scoops of ice cream shapes. And you'll see how this goes by really, really quickly. So if you want to go ahead and make a bunch of the same types of cards, just grab one piece of craft cardstock and then just go to town punching them out, and then you'll be able to make a bunch of them at a time. So there we go. Now we have one scoop, two scoops, and three scoops. But keep in mind that we're going to be using these as cherry bowls. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of my Hallmark Zap Dots, and I'm using the 1/2 inch ones for these. And I'm just going to place this simply in the back like that and pull the little tab off. And I'm just going to kind of eye it and put them in the center. Well, you can go ahead and measure if you like, but it doesn't have to be perfectly centered. So just kind of just eyeing where to place it is fine. And then here goes the second one, like that. And then we'll go ahead and use the third one. I really like the way the Zap Dots work on these punches because it gives it a really nice dimensional texture. So there we go. Now we have these three little bowls, right? Because that's what I'm envisioning them to be. The next thing I did was I took just some regular twine, and it's a green twine that I picked up. And I'm going to go ahead and put these cute little bows on here, just again to add a little bit more detail to my little scoops that have now converted into baskets, right? So I'm going to use my Hallmark craft glue for this because I find that it works really, really well. And I'll just put a little bit of glue on the far right of each of them, like this. And then we're simply going to adhere our little bow in this on the far right of the basket or the bowl right here. You can easily turn this into a basket of flowers as well. There's so many different ways that you can use this McGill ice cream cone punch for multiple projects, and I'll be sharing more with you soon, so stay tuned. So now you see, now we have these 3 little baskets, right? Super, super cute. The next thing I did was I took a piece of just regular, I believe it was like coordinations paper. I can't find it right now, of course. And I cut out a bunch of the little cherries in red. So just a bunch of these little cherries. And the way that the punch works, it's kind of off to the side. So if you just want to cut the cherries, that's all you need to do. You don't need to go ahead and cut so many things. And I just found it. See how I was able to cut all the cherries alone from the paper? So that worked really well, and I was able to put it really close, so I actually used my paper really well for this. The next thing I did was I just simply grabbed the cherries, and I took just any color, any kind of marker. I'm just going to use my Copic spray, and I'm just going to color in the stem. So now my little stem is nice and green. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of white along the side like this, just so it looks like it has a little bit of detail on it, right? So now it has that little detail. And we're going to do the same thing to all the other ones. Like that. And just keep it going. So super cute, these punches. And all I'm doing is just, again, just adding a little bit of white accent to the cherries. Okay, so now the next thing I'll do is I'm going to, for this particular project, I want to make sure that they kind of stand out, but I don't want to use my my foam dimensionals. I'm going to use my Helmar scrap dots because I think this works super awesome for these types of little details that you want dimension on, but you don't want to cut the foams. So all I do is I'm going to put a little bit of a glob on here, and I'm just going to kind of adhere it on the page like that. And let's just go ahead and put a little bit more. We can go ahead and push it down a little bit more so it looks like it's actually in the bowl. And keep in mind, you can put as much dimension as you want or as little. Keep in mind that the Helmar scrap dots dries clear, so don't be afraid to overuse it. It will dry clear. So there it goes, 3 of them. And I think I may just do 5 for in each of the little baskets. So we'll just put another one there. And then one more here. So you see how cute it looks, the little bowl of cherries. And then we'll just flip some more around and do the same thing for the other ones. And I'll come back and show you how I did those just to save some time. So now I've gone ahead and I finished putting all of the cherries inside the bowls. Super, super cute. And you can leave the card as this because it's already really sweet. It was just a little note to your friend and just write something inside. But I'm going to go ahead and add just one more thing. And it's just a sweet little sentiment. What I'm using for this one is the Kinder Stampos Vintage Birthday Set. Really versatile set. It works really well with all of your punches. And all I'm going to do is I went ahead and I stamped the Sweet Wishes on here with just some black Memento ink. And I layered it on some red and some black coordinations paper. And again, I'm just going to simply grab a few dimensionals here. And I'm again using the Helmar Zap Dots. We're going to put maybe 1, 2, and 3 on here. And then we'll just remove the backing like this. And then we'll simply place it on the bottom right hand corner like that. So there we go, a really fun and quick card to make using your McGill's ice cream cone punch. So I hope you guys enjoyed this versatile way of using this punch. I have many more ideas that I want to share with you. So I want you guys to think out of the punch, kind of my take on think out of the box, and get creative and use your shapes for many different ways. Thanks for watching.